Yeah, we're going to be having an interaction. Actually, I am not the host, but we just decided to start on my page. I'm going to be hosting, no, AY Comedian. This is confusing, my team. But either way, I'll be having an interaction with AY Comedian. He will be asking the questions and I'll be giving the answers, right? So we're going to be looking at what are the questions you need to ask before making any investment when it comes to real estate. What are the key things to look out for? Global real estate outlook. We just look at all the industry generally, and get to see how things work, okay? So as you're joining me, I'd like you to tell me your name and the city you're joining me from. I'm joining you from Houston, Texas, USA, where God lives. Okay? So where are you joining me from? I strongly believe that anywhere I am, that's where God is, and that's where God lives. So I'm always excited about my location, because I'm confident of God being where I am. So I have Larry Edo from Abuja. Welcome, Larry. Good to have you. Ian Ahoro from Abuja as well. Welcome. Tell me your name and city you're joining us from. I have Abiola from Maryland. Abiola, welcome. Dara Simi says he's from Nigeria. Where in Nigeria? Samuel Korede, where are you joining from? Eniola from Kaduna. Yeah, Daddy. Yeah, Kaduna. Sam, Edinburgh, Scotland. Sam, welcome. I have Ben from Yanagua. Welcome, Ben. Adebayo from Lagos. Adekunle from Oyo. Is it Oyo town or Ibadan? Samuel from Lagos. Samuel, welcome. Jane from Onitsha. Welcome, Jane. AY, if you're around, let me know so I can bring you up. Victoria from Atlanta, Georgia. Victoria, how are you? Lifetime investment. Welcome. Savior from Uyo. Okay. We need to open an estate in Uyo. I still don't know why we haven't, but we have to. Owolabi from Abuja. Welcome, Owolabi. It's good to have you guys. Thank you for joining. Larry says, I love your glasses, boss. Thank you. I'm learning to be more fashionable nowadays. Somtex from Anambra. Welcome, Somtex. Simon from Ekiti Kete. Welcome, everyone. Welcome. As you're joining, like I said, feel free to tell me your name and the city you're joining me from. Can somebody help me reach out to AY Comedian? I'm waiting for him. Farouk Usman, if you're here, or anybody from GTEX, let them tell Farouk to help me tell AY we're waiting for him. Aki Abiola says, your cap is for me. Okay, no wahala. You can come take it from Houston. Joseph Isaac from Nigeria. Where in Nigeria? Just Nigeria, okay. God's Time from Edo. We have Shola from Abuja. Welcome, Shola. Savory Isaac. He says, please open an estate in Uyo. Uyo is still virgin when it comes to estate. Honestly, I believe strongly we have to come to Uyo, Warri, and all the Southeast states. We're coming. It's just that expansion is not easy as you guys think. There's so many moving pieces. There's little resources as well. There's also the place of trying to explain to people, don't soil our name. We're trying to do something great here. We're not perfect, but you have to understand that we have this crap mentality across Africa. We love to pull people down. and we need to desist from it. So you're trying to expand. Sometimes you're also being dragged here and there. Also, the quality of people. You can expand better than the quality of people available in the process of expansion, right? I tell people that every great business is built on people. Farouk, I'm waiting for AY. I've started for a while now. Where's AY? So every great business is built on people. So sometimes people ask me, Dr. Stephen, what do you look out for before you build a business? And I tell them, what I look out for is the human resource. Do I have the person upon which I can build this, business empire on? For me, that's what I look out for. If I'm not sure I have such a person, then I'm not willing to take that level of risk. Okay, I'm not, because I understand that if you build a great empire on a faulty foundation, it's going nowhere. And the real foundation to building a great empire is good people, is the right people. An average Nigerian, okay, AY is finally here. What happened? AY, we've been waiting. An average Nigerian coming to join your business with the hope that he's about to go and start his own. And there's really nothing wrong.
Yeah, I'm the one. I was the one looking for you.
You no, I've started for like um over 7 minutes or so. How's London? Or is it
Look,
UK generally now? You're doing your
it's UK.
UK thing.
It's UK generally. I came online, so I called my manager to call your people and know what's going on.
Oh,
And before he finally got back to me to say, okay, yes, you're up now.
oh, I think that there was miscommunication. I thought you will start, then I joined, but they later said I'm to start, then you joined. So
Yeah, so I was wondering the arrangement. I said, okay, fine, let's do it. I'm here now. I greet you, boss. Special
I greet.
greeting to you. And as a matter of fact, we've been hearing all the good news. I don't even know where to start from. Whether to start from, let me start by saying congratulations. We heard of the Forbes Awards. For me, that is huge, and of course, there are a lot of people that have been one way or the other. We see they are all high-profile people, getting all that very, very reasonable award. That's in best in Africa when it comes to real estate business. Can you? Because I really don't have too much information, so it would be nice if you tell me about it, boss.
Well, first of all, thank you for having you here or you having me. I don't know, it's
Yeah.
confusing.
I'm, I'm with you live now. I'm the one that is with you live. So
so,
I,
but it's good for us to, and thank you for Saturday. I saw that you're in one of our estates, and good job with your tour in the UK. You're one brand that one is always proud to work with.
oh,
The
appreciate.
four best of Africa award for investment coach, best of Africa investment coach and real estate mogul was a very encouraging one for me because I think in the history of the Forbes Award, I'm the youngest to have gotten. We had Pastor Paul got the humanitarian category of the same award, Pastor Paul Adefarasi. We have some other guys who got for tech and all of that. So it's for me, it's humbling looking at the profile of people that have gotten such awards and that they are still getting. In fact, I joined them when they were doing, because ours was done in London. So there was another batch of people they did at the Forbes house in New York during the hunger in September. I mean, it was really encouraging seeing all these great people from different African countries who are top guys, who are being awarded alongside one. So it's humbling and we thank God for it. We keep working. Um, we just need to keep working. I think you won an award as well.
Oh,
Recently.
oh, oh, yes. I mean, it was more like I've won a couple lately, so I wouldn't know the one that my boss is talking about now. There's the one from the United States of America.
Wow.
I mean, it was honorary, very much in connection with my contribution to entertainment and sociocultural development. And for
Nice.
me, that was also very humbling, knowing fully well that it confirms the fact that the brand is traveling
Yeah,
because it's good
yeah,
when you start grabbing all these international awards.
yeah,
So what it
yeah.
means is that well, you've gone beyond the shores of Africa, Nigeria,
Mm-hmm.
and gaining other recognition is a plus for the AY brand.
Mm-hmm.
And that is one reason why I love to associate with people like you, because what it helps us to do is, you know, rekindle the fire, broaden our horizon to know how these things are done. So that brings me to a question that I'm going to ask. I mean, it's something that I've asked you before, but there's no crime asking this question over and over again for the interest of the people who are joining us live. Can you tell us about your journey? I mean, this is real estate business. You've been there doing what you know how to do best over time, and as a coach, there must be something. How did these whole things start? I'm very sure a lot of people will be very, very interested one more time.
Well, yeah, thank you. So we didn't start with real estate. 15 years ago, we were a digital marketing firm. We used to sell SMS, email marketing. We used to help companies to do adverts online, and as well as training around how to use the internet to sell your business. And I think that's why oftentimes a lot of my colleagues are always wondering, like, the way you use media. I'm like, that's my first business actually. I started by helping people use the internet online to kind of grow their business. So that's how we started the business, really. And so for me, at some point, I started traveling out. Visiting Silicon Valley was also a major game changer because when I went to Facebook campus is over 250 acres. And what I saw there was real estate. It was just real estate empire. Went to Google campus, went to all these campuses. And what I kept seeing, was able to help me realize that if you don't have real estate behind your tech business, you're just deceiving
Mhm.
yourself. And I don't think it's even just tech. Any business you're doing, I mean, you know what we're talking about. Sorry about, your house that got burnt. But you have always been a face of entertainer who invested in real estate from the early beginning,
Mhm.
from the early beginning. And
Yeah.
I'm sure you can tell us the value of that, just being able to have real estate asset behind the entertainment. There's a substance
Oh
behind
yes.
just the talents.
Oh,
Yes.
oh,
So,
oh
yeah. So for
yes,
me,
yes. As a
you
matter
want
of
to
fact,
come.
no, as a matter of fact, that I think I don't know the entertainers that are joining us live now. I think that information is also very, very important.
Yeah.
Uh, it's usually very appalling when something happens to one of us, and then you see our colleagues or we're all coming online to ask for help, and then you know the caliber of people who are involved in all of this. These are people that some of us we followed their work, we followed everything that they've been able to do over time, and we
Mm,
followed them to the point that we are very appreciative of the kind of entertainment
yeah.
value they
Yeah.
bring to all of us.
Yeah.
But it's also very
Yeah.
sad to wake up one morning and then you see us coming out to ask for help, for favor.
Mm,
I used to put such posts on my page, but I stopped it, not because I'm not, I don't want them to get help, but
mm,
also because I got tired of the fact that the kind of feedback we get from people, they start by insulting us
mm,
first. Why do
Mm.
people come online? You want to beg us, normal people who are on the street, to come and take care of one of you?
Mm.
And then what have you people done for us in return? So what I do my part in contributing anything that I can
Privately.
contribute.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I allow them go with whatever. But for me, it's not something that. But why am I saying this? I blame it on the inability to
Yeah.
invest when the going,
Yeah.
you know, was good. I blame it
Exactly.
on it because if you have your investment in place,
Yeah.
uh, I see a lot of people who talk about NY today. Oh, I like his joke. I don't like his joke. I look at myself. I see myself also beyond the talent. I see myself as a businessman. I see
Very true.
myself as an investor,
Very true.
and I tend to look for how to guide myself, guide my future, guide everything that takes care of my family, and by working today, because all the stamina and all the strength,
Mm.
they won't be there tomorrow.
Very
And
true.
when you talk about relevance, there are going to be other younger comedians who are
Yeah.
going to come in and
Yeah.
take over. And then
Yeah.
when they take over, I mean, it will be nice to see your money working
Yeah.
for you. The beauty
Yeah.
of being a fulfilled
Yeah.
businessman is when you are able to, invest your money, put something out there,
Mm-hmm.
and let that money
Mm-hmm.
begin to work for you. So when
Mm-hmm.
people are doing all their comparisons, oh, I think this person is this or this person is that, and tomorrow morning you wake up, they are begging for that same person.
Mm.
It's not something that so it's just an opportunity to share. It's like saying that this is something we should embark on, because
Yeah.
it's very, very shameful to wake up and see one of us, we're all begging
Yeah.
for the survival of one of us.
Yeah. And I agree with you absolutely. I think that Tyler Perry also was complaining about this in America. You know, all his colleagues, he said everybody was just shouting over award this, award that, whether they were paying black artists well or not. But you see him going to invest in over 350-acre studio. And today, now by force, everybody has to give him award because all the big
Hmm.
films are being shot in his studio. So understanding that there has to be real estate behind the talent, real estate investment behind every business, because there's really no business without real estate. Even if it's movies, you still need studios, and the
Hmm.
studio won't be in the air. The studio will be on the land, right? So be it even comedy, you still have to do concert. You know,
Hmm.
there's still venue. You know, it still has to be a venue that is being used. And so thinking ownership for me was the beginning of that journey. My mindset started changing to like, if we're serious, because as black people, if we're serious about, I have a quote that says that we cannot end racism until we end poverty among black people, right? Because, for example, you cannot be racist to me if I'm the one that is paying your salary, whether you like my face or not.
100%.
Exactly.
100%.
Whether you like my face or
Hmm.
not, you have to be nice. I mean, I often have drivers here in the US who take me around who are whites. I'm here to say any one of them that is racist to me. He has no choice.
Hmm.
He opens the door. He has to smile. He has to talk with me politely. He can carry his racism to somebody else, but not me, because I pay the bills. So for me, that was the beginning of that evolution to real estate. That there's no real business without real estate backup. If today a lot of people think we're just a real estate company, let them watch out. In the next 5 years to 10 years, we're going to be evolving the other phases of our company. Schools, mall, film studios, entertainment, movies, cinemas. You know, it's just understanding that the foundation is the land. And that's why for me, I'm not even bothered about. Sometimes people say, this land is a bit far. I'm laughing. By the time we create the wonder on that land, you will now see that the whole world will live wherever else and be rushing to where, because of the infrastructure you've put in that particular location. And for me, that was how the vision started. And we thank God today, from zero to owning over 30 estates in Nigeria, average of
Yeah.
50 to 500 acre for each one. And now also here in the US, expansion in Dubai. It's growing, but ultimately, that was how it started.
Well, I'm happy. I'm happy to hear that over and over again, and it's something I just want people to get the kind of information I want them to get. And then talking about when you say a place is too far, I used to I used to feel that way. Long time ago, I was a personal assistant to the king of comedy, Alibaba. So we would drive to some of the property he got back in the day around the Lucky axis. So I'll be like, why would my boss take me to this bush, you know, and all of that? But I wake up now, the places, the places
Yeah,
you call the Nikon town, you call all those
yes,
places,
yes,
fully developed right now.
yeah,
And then they're even more pricey
yes, more
compared to
expensive.
the, yeah, more expensive compared to the Lekki Phase 1
One, yeah,
that we were staying. That place was some sort of bush at the
yeah,
time. And that was where I tapped into the vision. Like, okay, so sometimes these places that you see as, I mean, this is such a distance. When am
yeah,
I going to? And then you look at the real businessmen, like the likes of Dangote, you see what
yeah,
he's doing around the
yes,
houses and that. And
yeah,
then you see a lot of people that development is going. One thing I know about development, one major factor, one major thing happens around there
yeah,
that brings employment, that brings
yeah,
opportunity for
yeah,
people, and everybody begin to navigate towards that
yes,
direction. And they
absolutely.
begin to look for property, they begin to look for
Yeah,
homes to
yeah,
build. This happened in Warri long time ago. There were places like Ejeba, Ogunu. Not until Shell and all those other companies came. The
yeah,
minute they came there,
yeah.
those places became the signature of all eyes. I mean,
Mm,
everybody wanted to just
mm,
go there
mm,
and do
mm.
business.
Yeah.
Now, somebody is asking on this live, how do I invest in real estate business? How do I come in? It's like, I don't want a situation whereby it will look like we're saying this and they say this is being overflowed. But then it's good to also, we know you have a website. We know people can go somewhere where they can get, even if they follow you alone, is
Mm,
enough to get all the information and all the questions that they are asking. So, by the way, you can also follow our guest here, who is double, double as the one hosting me today for a change, because I want to do all the questions. I just don't want to come on this live without asking questions, without learning something new. So if you need to follow, you know what to do. Just go on Instagram. The Instagram name is Stephen Akintayo. Yes, Stephen Akintayo. If you want me to put that up, you say it shortly. But then I need to get an answer to this question. How can people invest? I mean, just let us know.
Well, I think I would start by saying people should invest in the knowledge of the investment before the investment. And I think this is important. And the reason why I'm saying this is because what often happen with we as black people, everything is a scam for us. And the
Mm-hmm.
reason why everything becomes a scam is because we don't always have the knowledge first. So when somebody tells you something, you will take what they've said. I remember a friend of mine here in the US. He started investing heavily in Nigeria, and his auntie had to call him, Shora, oh, and then started giving him stories of this person invested, lost everything. This one invested, lost everything. He said he just started laughing that, mommy, first of all, I'm the one running my estate. All those land I'm even selling to other people. But I have studied because it's almost like a mentee as well. He said, but I took my time to learn from Dr. Stephen, and having understood how the business work, I am now investing. So don't what happened to those people? They didn't have knowledge, right? I understand, because sometimes you see people even shouting I was scam when they were not scam. It's just that they have financial issue and they want money,
Mm-hmm.
and they remember that they invested somewhere and they say, oh, yeah, give me back my money. And those ones say, we are not a bank. We didn't store your your money. The money has been used to buy land, it's been used to develop, and then you say, oh, they've scammed me, and then it becomes an issue. So get the knowledge, understand what you're even doing. Don't just rush to say, okay, I'm buying land, I'm buying this, I'm buying that. What is land banking? If it's a house that you are buying, why are you buying the house? Do you want to live in the house? Do you want to rent the house out so that you can get rental income? What guarantees your return? Okay, can we consider conversation around inflation? So understand all of this, and even if it means you need to pay for a seminar, go for a training so that you can understand it. Why not go there, get the understanding, so that way you will not be like a tree being tossed to and fro. Whatever anybody just says, right? It just shakes you, and you're just already scared. Omo, I think something's wrong. I know people where suddenly Nigeria will divide. Okay, I want to start selling all the land I bought. Oh yeah, they've been saying that for how many years now? We divided. You see someone, oh, something's happening in Lagos. Oh yeah, yeah, I want to sell all my property. So, but if you don't understand history, if you
They
don't
are,
understand
or they are sending the Igbo people out of Lagos.
exactly, so people just pick stuff without proper understanding and knowledge about issues, and then they just pick it up. And so get knowledge, understand what business you are into, how the business works, and once you understand it, then you can start putting your money. But yes, you can send me a DM. You can visit. We are GTEX Holdings, we have GTEX Homes, GTEX Land, we have different subsidiaries. You can talk to us. We're willing to guide you on that process of investment. The good news with our company is that if you don't like Nigeria, well, we sell property in Dubai. If you don't like Dubai, we sell property in UK. If you don't like UK, we sell property in US. If you don't like US, that one, well, it's now it's not in your hands.
Well, is it talking about going international? This is one thing I like about your business.
Yeah,
And you were talking, you made mention of how Nigerians react.
yeah,
I mean, when they invest. So, in
yeah.
other words, you would agree with me that there are risk factors in this business.
Absolutely.
So it will be nice for somebody with your with all the experiences that you have, with all the experience that you have in this business, to tell us what are the risk factors involved in real estate business.
Very good question. I think there are a lot, and I think the first risk is the risk of ignorance. I think it's the first one because people don't, and I'll give a practical example. Let's talk about the building demolition going on in Lagos. A lot of people just got obsessed about, does the land have C of O? And because the land has C of O, they just go and start building without building approval, without knowing that, look, even if a land does not have C of O and it has built, and you go for building approval, right? There's a process they will take you through. They call it ratification. That will then gradually take you to the place of now getting an approval to build a house. But even if you have C of O and you don't get building approval, they can still come tomorrow and demolish your house. But because
Oh, wow.
people don't have this knowledge, the argument all the time is show me C of O, show me C of O. Does the land have C of O? But it's not just C of O in the conversation around land business. There every particular places like Lagos and Abuja, there is a master plan. Where they want to put farm, they have it. Where they want to put zoo, they have it. Where they want to put, all of those things exist. So yes, it may have C of O, but their intention is that you shouldn't put a house there. You can do commercial there. It may have C of O, but it may be a Greek C of O, right? Now, if in the case where you buy a land, and for whatever reason, it doesn't have a title or the C of O, you are not sure what it is, you can always go and say, before I build my house, can I get a building approval? can I understand what I can do? And honestly, if you go through the gratification, because they have the provision, we've bought land before, that the original intention is for a Greek. But we'll go and then meet the ministry. We want to do residential here, right? And they will take you through the process. We have a new estate now. In fact, you were supposed to launch, if not for your UK project in Ekpe. The land is divided into two. Half of it was approved for residential, even though it doesn't have C of O. But in the map of Lagos State, it is houses, mass housing that will be there, right? Then half of it is farm that will be there. Hence, we call it Sadius Farm City.
Oh, wow.
Do you see the point now? So, meanwhile, somebody else, all he will be asking, show me C of O, show me C of O. Meanwhile, it's not just about C of O. What is the master plan for that land? Even if it doesn't have C of O. What is government willing to allow to happen in that place? Now, this C of O, we always keep shouting. What really is it? C of O simply means you are getting a document from government allowing you to own a piece of land for 99 years.
Certificate
Simple.
of occupancy.
Yeah. And that started in the 70s when a new law came and said the governor of a state owned the land. But you and I know that that's not true because families own land, not governor. And it's still a law we are hoping government one day will revoke, right? Because it's pure nonsense. Families own land, not government. But as of today, that's what the law says. And government also understands that, which is why they make so much provision that even if the land doesn't have C of O yet, if you come to them, oh, we want this. Okay, what's the process? Oh, yeah, pay this money. Oh, yeah, we'll give you a C of O, right? Oh, this place, so you people wanted to do zoo, but me, I'm trying to build a house. The question is talk to us. That's what the government is asking. Oh, yeah, let's look into it, right? Maybe we can ask you to move to another place. Maybe we can say shift your house towards a particular pattern. Maybe we can ask you to move a bit. You know, these are things that are the issue. So the first risk is ignorance. There's too much ignorance about land business across Nigeria, right? And so investors are not well educated and they are just moving based on hearsay and what people are saying. And I think that's one of the major problem that we have. This other risk is government itself, right? Because government also acts like weather. You know, today it's as if they are blowing this way, tomorrow they are blowing that way. You know, for example, I look at this notion going on about there's demolition of houses owned by Igbos. I think that the government just needed to come out and make a statement, both the commissioner and the governor, right? And give detailed explanation. These were the reasons, and this is not just based on just one ethnic tribe. And I'm sure if they have done that, that will have cleared the air. But like I said, government themselves are part of the problem oftentimes in the real estate sector. Because today is like they are blowing this way, tomorrow is like they are blowing that way. And sometimes political undertone, right, affects their ability to just be as honest as they should be about issues, as transparent as they should be about issues. And I think that's an issue that is part of the risk.
Yeah, talking about risk, some of us, I mean, we've taken a risk in the sense that we made investment. I mean, when I started AY Live a long time ago, so I did AY Live in Abuja, so I met this real estate personality who said, okay, I love your drive, but I think this is a good time to invest. So I made an investment like over 14 years ago, only for me to wake up and I say in Abuja, I mean, very pricey, very good location, that's Socorro and what have you, 12 years ago. So you can imagine 12 years ago the the value of the land will be as of today. But I woke up one morning and I said the government now has need for the property, even with all your CFO and everything that, and then I mean, the person running the property, has capacity and say, okay, I'm taking government to court. Okay, why? We need people like you to come and say, okay, so I have to go and be finding myself in court over a land that I bought from you. I mean, you should be working harder to, make sure that I get the exact value of that land. And then you begin to hear stories of allocation coming, government is going to give you people somewhere else. And then you look at the value of what they are trying to give to you is nothing compared to your investment. So why am I saying this? You talk about risk. There are people who just run into some money and immediately they want to invest. And when they listen to people like you, the way I listened to the lady the other time who talked me into this business, you see that with precedence and experience that this person has, this person is very sure. But government, being government, and with the kind of power that they have, which is even more now superimposing, will just come and take all of that overnight. Now, there are some people who can stand it. Now I'm alive, I'm kicking, I'm thinking, but there are some people, it's automatic heart attack because
I know.
because the
I know.
investment, and it's happening in the real estate sector.
Yeah.
Sometimes it will be from the homeowners or the other family members who are not aware that family A sold this land. And then you'll be in court. Your investment will be on hold. So what do we have to say to things like this? How do you tell the investor to know the kind of risk to take and what not to take? What are the signs? What are the things that we need to see that's going to say no, go in or go out?
Again, AY, you're spot on, and I honestly wish we all have the answers, but we really don't. And it's the reason why some of us, even though we're private business owner, we're very outspoken, right? I know people who have said to me, "Can't you see how Dangote behave? Can't you see how Otedola? Can't you see how?" And I'm saying I'm not these people. First of all, I'm not of their generation, right? Second of all, they are not facing what my own generation is facing. And third of all, I didn't benefit from government the way they benefited. Many of these people during their days, at the age of 30, they could own a bank. During my own time, is a whole different ball game. To even own a bank, they're telling you to bring 40 billion. How many 30-year-old can bring 40 billion? And
Mm,
that's why I love when Arturo Peter side talks, right? Because he's of that generation, but he empathized with the younger people, and he was one of those who said this, that look, at the age of 35, he owned a bank, right? Even younger than that. And most of them, they were that young. Tony, they were in their 20s and they started owning. It's almost as if they got there, they locked the door, made the rule
mm,
higher for everybody else that wants to come in, so that it becomes a club of a few. So for me, when people see me outspoken, despite the fact that I'm very well to do, it's because I understand these challenges, and empathize on it, and I'm very, as of course people will say they will come after your business and all of that. Well, I've always said it. Thank God I'm well spread. If you come after one leg, there are so many other legs that will survive, and even you yourself, you will not live forever. One day you will leave
mm.
the place,
True.
and another new person will come who will know us.
Mm.
So,
Yeah.
but but to give a more tangible answer, I think that's why cooperative matters. I mean, look at what happened to Magodo. At the end of the day, Lagos State had to negotiate, right? You understand? Because there is that cooperative angle. Look at all the houses they've been building. How many of them are inside an estate? Have you noticed?
Mm,
Right?
mm,
There are individual houses that stand alone. Because if you are together, the chances, except if, of course, you people broke the rule totally, there's nothing to salvage. I mean, imagine people who build estate, they didn't put drainage, and then water has taken over the entire estate. Okay, what do you, I mean, you don't have a legitimate ground for government not to say, oh, we need to demolish because that entire state is on water plane or whatever, right? But typically, when you come together in an estate format, is a lot difficult. I tell people oftentimes, I see people attack me on social media, and I say, what you don't know is that I'm no longer an individual, I'm an institution. So the companies I own, policeman invest, army invest, judge invest, lawyer invest, right? Private businessman invest. All these people won't close their eyes and watch you bring down the company. I may be the chairman, I may be the founder, but different people had put their money together to make that company to stand, that company GTEX. So when you attack it, yesterday a guy was remanded in prison for writing defaming article about myself and our company. Me, I'm JJ here in Houston, okay? And he was going to jail. So the reality is that it's an institution that has the capacity to defend itself. And that's what people need to begin to look out for. How do I partner with institutions in my investment so that it's not one man? If it's one man, they can attack one person or two persons, right? But when it's an institution, right? I mean, if Lagos State government come after us, there are Lagos State civil servants who invested in our estate. So they will rise up and go and meet their guys and say, Oga, I put my money in that thing. So that's one of the strategies that I think works. But of course, we all need to keep challenging government. We all need to keep speaking out and holding government accountable to know that they are there in the interest of the people. They are there to serve the people and not to lord it over people. I hope I've been able to give at least two balanced answers.
Oh yeah, yeah. I mean, it makes a lot of sense. It reminds me of our own business too. In as much as people see it as entertainment, uh, when you become an institution, when you have a structure in place, it's easier to just wake up and form a template that works.
Yeah,
So people might just be wondering, okay, what's making this whole thing work and what have you. And again, it's also open for people to bring in their talent and be a part of it so
yeah,
that we can move together.
yeah,
So we don't, someone like me, that I don't have the information.
yeah,
Oh, Ewa, how do I do a hotel? How do I go to the sales center? How do you do publicity for your movies? How do you,
yeah,
I'm like an open book. I will just
yeah,
show you the
yeah,
way it is. It's
yeah,
usually a
yeah,
plus for you as a brand.
yeah,
It puts you in a position of leadership.
yeah.
So it's usually a plus for you as a brand for people to see you as a resource center
Mm-hmm,
where they
mm-hmm.
can get everything that they need to
Yeah,
move their own brand forward. So that
very true.
automatically puts you in one advantage position.
Very
So
true.
if I hear someone like you talking about this, in the capacity that you have built your business,
Mm.
I would say that I'm connecting to it. Then now another question that I am going to ask. There are people, they just have capital. And a lot of people, when we talk about investment, one thing is for you to have the capital. Another thing is for you to know how to how to move your money.
Mm.
And another thing is for you, beyond moving your money, is to meet experts who can tell you how that money can be moved around to work for
Mm.
you.
Mm.
So, I mean, GTEX as a global brand and as a company, there should be a strategy somewhere, which I think uh, is important for people to tap from. So, for example, someone on this line as a capital, to move around. What would be your advice concerning investment?
Beautiful. So I think again, people should not underestimate what I said earlier, which is first of all, knowledge is the beginning, right? What am I trying to do with my money? What's the long-term goal? What's the short-term goal? So let's assume you have, I'm just giving an example, 100 million naira, and you're thinking of investing in real estate. I think the first question should be, how long do you have that 100 million naira to play with? Because people don't ask themselves all these important questions. Will I be needing this 100 million naira back in the next 6 months? Will I be needing it back in the next 5 years? That's number one. Number two, how flexible am I with how I want to do the money. Do I want to put into fixed assets, or do I want to just give it to people who are in legitimate businesses and I'm getting returns on a regular basis so that I can even be using the ROI to take care of myself, right? And then the next is, do I want to invest it in Nigeria or do I want to invest it outside of Nigeria? If you are investing that 100 million in Nigeria, you'll get higher returns. But guess what? Of course, inflation is a factor. Dollar naira crisis is a factor. If you invest that money, that 100 million outside of Nigeria, which we also do, we are now a US SEC approved fund by the US government. In other words, we have the right to publicly seek for money to expand our real estate business in the US. It's called GVest Capital here in the US. So we do that as well. But know that the return you will get here in the US cannot be compared to the one in Nigeria. In fact, it's highly regulated. If we even promise you more than certain percentage, SEC will come and look for us. Now, you tell us why and how you are calculating your profit. What guarantees you can afford to pay this kind of returns? Right? So there's a limit to how high you can even go. Because if the bank, for example, here are giving between 5 to 7% as returns in terms of the institutional investment options here. If you as a private company say, okay, come invest with me and be buying real estate, you can only do something between the range of 7% to 12, 14% max. If it's a bit higher, they will start scrutinizing to say, why are you able to say you can give this much? What kind of business are you doing and all that? So it's the person has to understand these facts and has to have agreed on what is the option he or she wants to go for. Stable returns, but not that high, or high returns, but some risk are involved. So I think those are the first step. Once you now are settled about that, the next is, what are the companies that have credibility, track record? Not that they started today, okay, and then they disappear. I tell people one of the major reasons why Nigerians fall into scam when it comes to investing in their money is they want returns that are not realistic. And people who do this Ponzi scheme, they know the people too. They know how to play them. They know. If I heard of a story of one of those Ponzi schemes that give you ridiculous returns. The SEC of Nigeria shut down all their businesses. They all went to change their name, register a whole new company, and they're back in business. And guess what? Nigerians will still put their money.
No, they will.
Despite
They will know. It's
the losses, they will still put their
it's
money.
it's kind. Now, as you're talking, we have friends and families who are victim of this hotel. And what they do, when you put small money, they give you one kind of ridiculous profit.
Yeah.
You just make some money, and then you put more money. They are waiting for you. They have a target. So by the time you now empty your account and put the real investment, that's when they vanish.
You see, Obi now. Obi says, I think I prefer high returns. You see what I'm saying now? So these people, they know our people. They know our people.
Yeah, no.
They
It's
know.
Kalu. In as much as the outside world believe that Nigerians are good with scamming, but
Yeah.
it's also unfortunate to also know that they are
Yes.
scamming Nigerians
Yes.
and getting away with it
Exactly.
100%. So it's like paying you back in your own coins. So, but this is just a way of educating those of you on this live now. Please, it's good to invest, but do a proper research. Know where you're putting, know what you're putting your money into.
Yeah.
You must understand all that ridiculous amount that you want to make. By the time the profits is looking somehow in a way that is not believable, begin to suspect.
Yeah.
Because even if you're the one giving money, can you give your money out like that? So that's one aspect you need to reason from and all that. Now, talking about You mentioned all the regulatory whatever that is ongoing in the US. So it means GTEx is doing something. What is GTEx doing right now in the US, internationally? What we need to know, because it's good to know that okay, AY went to a property that is being developed locally in Nigeria, or AY goes for another. But now this is international, so which is a confirmation of the fact that the brand is well grounded and well expanded. So it would be nice for Nigerians and the rest of the world who are interested in international investment. Let them know what GTES is doing out there.
Okay, beautiful question. So, but before I answer that, I saw somebody asking about demolition and all of that. So let me say that again, I empathize with everybody whose houses has been demolished. I sincerely empathize, and I hope that government can look for how to balance
Yeah,
things, right?
yeah,
Justice
compensation.
with empathy, right? So justice has to come with empathy. So I hope government does that, and I empathize with you guys. But I want to assure Igbos that there's nobody chasing you from Lagos. I'm a Yoruba man, and I can tell you that categorically. We have a lot of Igbos that are doing well in real estate. One of them that I'm even proud of is Ned Okoko. He's doing very well, and you can see nobody's demolishing his house or his estates. There are different investors all over, the cultural lines. And even me as a businessman, I have several Igbos who patronize me across all our investment across. Even me, we're about opening our estate next year in all the 5 eastern states. And I'm a Yoruba man. And I don't expect anybody to come and demolish my estate, right? Because it's Igbos that will buy it. It's not even a Yoruba man. So we must understand the dynamics to business, and I hope governments compensate people, but we need to, take away that notion there's an attack on one ethnic group. I can tell you 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 Igbo people doing real estate business in Lagos, and they are fine. And you can reach out to them.
Apart from that, I
Yeah,
am also Yoruba. A majority of my friends, my core friends in the business world, they're all Igbos. As a matter of fact, by extension, the Igbos they call me one of their own.
yeah,
So this is also an opportunity. Uh, you cannot undermine or overrule the mindset of some individuals
yeah,
within the government sector
yeah,
who have this belief like
yeah,
àwọn ọmọ Igbo come and know they
yeah,
are there. So
yeah,
we cannot because you have gained education, you have traveled far and wide. So but there are still some people who have this mentality,
mm,
this is our land, this is our city, you cannot come and all of that. But it's not across board. But it's
mm,
something that I think government should overrule
mm,
completely. And I know all of this, in a way, came from all the political movement that happened before now. But what
yeah,
I'm also trying to use this opportunity to preach is for us to see ourselves as one Nigeria. You have said it all. Empathy is very, very important.
yeah,
Compensation and
mm,
whatever justice, or because it's not easy for people to invest and then you wake up
mm,
one day, everything is gone. It's like
mm,
me waking up, my house, has gone, with a fire and what have you.
mm,
And
yeah,
I'm thinking of what close to where do I get this from? I know the way it is. It's very, very painful.
yeah,
But we must also strike a balance to eradicate that mentality. You are doing it on your level because you don't believe it. But I'm saying to you, as somebody that is still on the street, we hear people talk. This is our Lagos. They cannot come
mm,
from. They are
mm,
people. They are individuals with that mentality.
yeah,
So if we can, find a way to create that balance where people would take that mentality out completely. Because I want to go. I want to go to the east. I want to invest in the east. I
yeah,
want to do my shows in the east.
yeah,
So I just want people to accept me as a Nigerian, not as a Yoruba boy, not as a Warri boy, but as a Nigerian. And which is what I also want to happen in Lagos. Just in
I,
case
I,
you
I,
need to buttress that fact.
I think it will continue to happen. I think there are a few wrong elements who are trying to divide us. For example, I'm a Yoruba man. There are more Igbos who work in our company than Yorubas. And because we have more Igbo staff than Yorubas, and because for us it's about merit, I don't go out and say, "Are you Igbo?" before I employ you. Can you do the job? It's as
Nah.
simple as ABC. So we don't want to have a situation where some people are generalizing, right? There are few elements I agree with you who might be having such notion, but it's not general. It's not the position of everyone. There are several. Pennec is there. Kennedy, Dr. Kennedy. There are so many Igbos. They are doing their business and they are fine, and they will be fine, right? And competition is healthy. We are friends. We know each other. Everybody's doing their business. One person's business can't stop another. And
I
I
know.
believe God that as we speak out, that we will take out these negative elements from us. They don't represent all of us. But back
Mhm.
to the conversation around investment, I had what we're doing internationally. We're happy to let people know that you can invest with us internationally. We've been doing that for a few years, but we've taken it to the next level. Somebody was asking earlier, I have 10 million. Can I invest? You can invest. We have investment where if you want to be getting returns in dollars, you can. Like I told you, we're now a SEC approved fund. If you want to be invest with us and get returns in Naira, you can do that as well. And we have that opportunity available for people all over. So we're happy about that. We just acquire 40-acre property. We'll be building over 400 housing units. And it's if we are when we are done with that project, we will be, by the records we have, the largest green and smart home in a singular location in the whole of America. And we're giving opportunity to people to invest. I think our first round of funding is we're raising $10 million. So we're getting between 100 to 200 people investing between $50,000 to $100,000. They could do more to raise funds. So we're using that money to start building. Hopefully, we'll host AY on the property in January. We are hosting President Obasanjo, is confirmed already. Chief Dele Momodu, a couple of people in January for a conference close to where the property is. And we're all taking a tour to see the property as well. So what we are doing for me is we're giving opportunity for people to be able to invest globally. And I've said this oftentimes, right? That as my Nigerians begin to, is it emigrate, some people call it. And we're doing that. And there's nothing we can do to stop that. People are moving, expanding, moving to US, Canada, all of that. It's also important that we invest hard, okay, to make sure we, how do I call it? We are also economically strong as we expand globally. Because if we are not economically strong, people will talk to us anyhow, people will treat us anyhow, even in those foreign countries we go to. And I saw this firsthand in Dubai. A lot of people don't know why the Dubai government, aside what has happened between the Nigerian government and the Dubai government, where Nigerian government has been owing Dubai for a while, banning Nigerians from going to Dubai was possible, and many other African countries, because most of our transaction in UAE was not legit. I don't know how you understand what I'm saying. So the record, when you say top 10 investors in real estate in UAE, Nigeria is not among. Though we know that behind back door, you know what I'm talking.
The back end shows a different result.
Exactly. But you know what? The truth is that the back end will always come one way or the other. So they only care about the front end, right? Are you people among the top 20 investors in real estate? What happened? They can't do it to India. They can't do it. I mean, Indians in UAE, no matter what, they can't do it because the numbers of Indians who own real estate, who own assets, who own businesses, and there are a lot of Indian-owned companies that misbehave in UAE, but they won't still ban Indians from coming to UAE because the economy practically will crash without Indians. So we Nigerians, as we are expanding globally, and this is a note of warning to all of us, we must take investing in those countries seriously. Else, it becomes easy for a new government to come and say, oh, all our Nigerians here, let them go back to where they're coming
Eradicate.
from.
Yeah.
And it will still now be like, okay, at home, we're marginalized amongst ourselves. Abroad, they are treating us one. I mean, you saw what just happened with the UK. Before now, you're doing your masters, you can come with your family. They enjoyed collecting our £30,000. But suddenly, a new prime minister, funny enough, who is the son of an immigrant. You see what the funny thing, right? As this, no, there are too many Nigerians coming to UK with their family. So no more coming with your family. You will come alone. So we must be conscious of this so that it won't be as if the way Yoruba will put it, it won't be as if we are pouring water in a basket.
Empty basket. Yeah.
So that's part of what GTEx is trying to do. That in countries where a lot of our people are expanding to, we want to begin to invest heavily in those places, right? Even if everybody will live in those estates, like one of the properties we were marketing recently in state of Georgia, 20 unit of 3-bedroom townhouse, we're selling for $250,000. There's still some units left. Now, tenants are there. In fact, there's no single Nigerian that is a tenant there. But the fact that a Nigerian owned that property, that mini estate, it's how we begin to change the narrative about our people, that we are not just Yahoo Yahoo. We are not just scammers. We are not just, they are legitimate entrepreneurs who are Nigerians, who are adding value to the economy, who are creating jobs in these countries we are visiting or we are emigrating to.
True. And the more we continue to do the work that we do and the way we go about it. And I had an experience. I was at a Trump hotel in DC. So I was lodging at a Trump hotel in DC. Funny enough, I looked around for some strange reasons. I was the only black man lodging in the hotel because, I mean, it's a premium place. So I walk up to the bar and then to now make the whole thing look very, very bitter an experience for me. The workers cleaning the place and all that were all black people. And then I'm good. Then I'm the only one stepping down from my room and going to the bar, and then you'll see them looking at me like, oh, okay, what's he doing here? How did he, get here and all that? And then this experience was true. Then one very inquisitive one tried to like, oh, hey, what's up? Where are you from? And I said, I'm from Nigeria. Okay, that took him aback a little and all that. So I said, okay, I'm an entertainer. Oh, what do you do? I'm a stand-up comedian, blah, blah, blah. So we got talking. So immediately he said, so are you on Instagram? You on social media and all that? And I said, yes. So the minute I gave him my handle, this guy screamed. And in no time, the community of white people on this other side came to my side because he made an announcement. Oh my God, he's famous. He's damn famous. And then we started having drinks and all that. So now they could relate with the fact that there's a reason why this guy can afford Trump Hotel. There's a reason why he can afford it. And then this is me now. I'm looking at my fellow brothers and saying, okay, this is how they rate us. So now they are in wonderment, trying to put one and one together. What is this particular one doing here? So it's good for us to continue to put in the work, gain respect. I mean, look at what you just mentioned now. I mean, owning in the state of Georgia and then know that it's in Nigeria. That's a plus, not just to you as an individual, to Nigerians collectively. So even our investment, for those of us who want to invest abroad, it's also very, very good that we do that. But I want to ask this question because, you need to tell us more about the Houston investments. I mean, people need to know. It's not just to give it a face value, except you don't want to unleash or let us unveil all the information at the moment. I respect that, but it's something that I think we need to you need to throw
So
more light on.
yeah, so what I would advise is for everyone want to hear about the Houston, we're doing an official unveiling tomorrow, a virtual one tomorrow, then physical one on the site on Saturday. It's like an open house. So the first one tomorrow is going to be 10 a.m. Is it CST now? That's Houston time. And that should be 10 a.m. That should be 5 p.m. Nigerian time.
Okay.
Just send us, if any of GTS staff is here, kindly send us the link for tomorrow's virtual event. So at that event, we'll break it down. What are we trying to do? We even show you the images of what we're trying to create there. How do you key in? Even if you can't afford, how do you refer people to us and still get something for yourself through that? So you can send me a DM right now if you're interested in that.
Are you
While
saying
on
there are compensations for referrals?
Yes, we have compensation if you refer anybody to invest with us, either to buy the houses we're trying to build there or to invest cash for returns on investment. Yes, you will get all of that as well. And there's returns for doing that with us. We have all the opportunity. So tomorrow will be virtual, while on Saturday we're doing physical, open house on the property. We'll walk through the property. We'll now be able to give better explanation. For those who are in Houston, they can join us physically. So if you're in Houston, just send a message. You can attend both the virtual and the physical one. If you are not in Houston, you can attend just the virtual one tomorrow. So the website, I think someone just helped me to pin it, mention it now. Thank you. It's www.gtechhomes.com/invest in Jasper. www.gtechhomes.com/invest in Jasper. So it's tomorrow, 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. That will be, I think, Lagos time. That will be 5 p.m. Dubai time 8 p.m. UK time 4 p.m. Tomorrow and 1st of December. And what a good way to start the year, talking about investment, seeing opportunity. So you will to see whether you can, how to buy for yourself or how to invest and get returns, as well as how you can refer people to us and get something for referral. We have some fantastic bonuses for referring people to us. So there's money to be made. The entire project will take us over 5 years, and we're going to be putting over $100 million in the next 5 years on that project. So I tell people, how do you make money? When you see where money is flowing, put yourself somewhere, right, in that process, and the money will touch you.
Hmm.
You know.
That's a very good one. Okay, before we round up for today, are there can you talk about the official communication channels? I mean, I know you've been mentioning them one by one, but can you just share light, or somebody will be pinning all of that for us to see?
Okay, so first of all, it's important because we've gotten stories of people impersonating, defrauding people, and all of those things. So here are my advice. If there's anything anybody is talking about around investments that has to do with our company, we have our official handles. Go there and communicate. Or you can come to my DM. We're about four of us who manage my social media account. So let me make that out there because some people start getting angry over one thing or the other. I'm not the only one. It's a big handle. There's a lot we do. So you can send a DM to my direct handle. Any of my team will reply you and give you official communication channel because we are now 7 subsidiaries and each one does different things. If I were doing a media tour, tomorrow will be on TVC and AIT. Monday we're on channel. We now have a group CEO. There's a whole lot of structuring where even me, I'm being careful how I get personally involved in how the business run day to day. I continue to remain the chairman and the largest shareholder, but there are a lot of people involved in the system, and it's good to allow the system grow and evolve. Else, one may not live long. And me, I want to live long. You know.
I want to live long too.
so, so,
So,
but officially today, I can put two numbers of my own private office, and they can then direct you to whichever subsidiary you're trying to deal with. Okay, so I think that's the best way we go about this. So we have the first number is +234 81 8000 8119, or +234 81 8000 00618.
okay,
So I've just pinned it. Those are the two numbers again: plus
okay,
234 81 80 0 8119, or +234 81 80 0 00618.
okay. Someone is
Somebody's asking
asking,
for
is there
US
the
line.
US number?
Chat,
Yeah.
send a DM and you'll get a US number. I will
Okay.
even give you my direct number, but I have a rule. I don't pick call. It's strictly chatting. When you chat me, say your full name. Okay, your full name. Don't say Jide. No, Jide Orimogunje. Your full name and the purpose of the conversation. Don't go into how are you, how's your family. I hope they are fine. I mean, I attend to over 1,000 people every day. So if you go that route, it won't help, right? So, and I block people easily. I'm not. It's my private line. I have the right to my private space, right? So I've just pinned it plus 1 443 790 3925. So
Okay,
again,
that's very humbling for people like us to know that someone in your capacity can let your number go out there like that. So for those
but
of you asking for,
with a disclaimer, I am not nice. No, with a disclaimer, because I've had people get angry over that I blocked them, right? If
uh,
I'm going to operate that route, there has to be like structure around it. So my
oh yeah,
attention
well,
lifespan for you is little.
well,
Once it
It's,
makes
it's,
sense,
it's,
I
it's
do.
good. They should get that information. Sometimes just go straight to the business of the day. What brings you here? Let us know what brings you here. Stop asking personal questions. How is madam? How are the children? Let's discuss GTEx. Let's discuss investment. Go
Okay.
straight up, ask your questions so that I can quickly answer you. The number is there, just in case you're missing it out, is +144 3790 3925. It's an international number, the US number. Those of you who ask for the US number. Personally, I am biased that this live is not happening directly from my own page where I can pin all of these down and repost so that people can always go back there and learn
No,
something
no,
fresh.
we
So,
are adding you as a collaborator, so it will automatically appear on your page.
okay, so
So you
let's
so you
let's do
just
that.
accept it. Once we are done, just accept it and it will appear on your page.
Okay, that will be fine because I also want people from my space to always learn something new. Part of the value that we attach to society, I want them to see it beyond the jokes, beyond the entertainment. Also learn something that will help you to move forward. So I will be glad to do a repost and do that with GTEx. And this is me saying thank you for having me. I should be having you, but thank you for having me. I don't know if you have any last word for me before I say goodbye.
Well, I want to say thank you for who you are. Thank you for what you do. I know you and I, or maybe you and my team, we are tough negotiators and tough business negotiators. But I appreciate your person. I appreciate who you are, what you stand for, and what you do. And for me, it's very important to say to people while they are alive how much I value them. I don't believe, I've always said it too. if when I die you appreciate me, I will appear to you in your dream. My ghost will appear. You know, so,
Celebrate me now when I'm alive.
so
That's the song by
exactly.
Patoranking.
So me, I'm appreciating you while you're alive. You
Thank
represent
you.
something
Thank
good,
you. Hmm.
humility, hard work, passion, and people can say what they want to say. I mean, I know your a lot of the recent story. I'm happy at the end of the day, everybody has apologized, and we can say. And I love how I think you are somebody I don't want to fight with because you will bring too much evidence that you will force me to then have no choice but to apologize. So you are somebody I don't want to fight because you will bring
There's
receipts.
receipts. There's always
So
receipt. Receipt is important. If you don't have receipt, then you are guilty. If you are not guilty, you have nothing to be afraid of. You know, I personally, I don't have anything to be afraid of. In as much as I know that I'm not hurting you, I'm not hurting your business, I'm not hurting your family, I don't see any reason why you should want to come to my space and hurt me. Because I still believe that the sky is wide enough for all of us to fly.
yeah.
And on that note, I want to say thank you for those of you.
Let me add a final
Mhm,
statement.
mhm,
Um which is for everyone watching, please again, it's important to say we do a lot of charity as an organization. In fact, if you check my page, we still went to a school, got them school uniform, paid tuition fee, but I am not in charge of it. I am not. And it's important, even those who will chat me today now for business, I will still refer you to either a CEO of a subsidiary or somebody. I am not. So when you come to me and you are begging for money, begging for this, I will most likely block you. And I'll tell you why. I don't believe people should beg. Anytime we do charity, we post it, and we have what we call the Stephen Actel Foundation. They are in charge of charity. I believe in institutional giving. I think it's the highest form of giving because you don't know the people. You did not structure it around you so that you will not be giving them handout. They'll be thanking you. You've built institution. There are people employed to go and meet the needs of those who need it.
mhm,
So what I practice is called institutional giving. When you don't know me from anywhere and you come to my private space begging for money, I will block you. Because whenever we have projects, we publish it. You can go to the foundational page. We have the Stephen Actel Foundation. Google them. They have phone numbers. Talk to them. I need this. If it's in something they can accommodate, they will accommodate, but not to come to me directly. And I'll tell you why. It reminds me of my own vulnerable states, right? I hate begging. Even when I was a poor person, I hate begging. So for me, it gives me a feel of, somebody ridiculing themselves. I don't like it, right? So I
mhm,
created a system where people can go in a dignified way. We're even the one that say, come talk to us. When we do bursary, we announce it. This year we gave over 20 businesses $5,000 for their business. We announced it. We showed a dignified way they can apply for it, where they don't need to lose their dignity begging
mhm,
anybody. You don't need to
mhm.
beg people. I don't believe in it. There are structures to giving and helping. Thank you.
I personally don't believe in begging to myself. If not, I would have come online and start asking people, say, my house just burned, oh, please
Ex-
help me with 5,000. Put the account
exactly.
number so that I can build
Exactly.
my house again and move forward. But trust me, the day that happens, if I even come outside, I will be thinking when I see everybody on the street, I'll be thinking, I'll be thinking of my wife. There's a way I will wear clothes and I say, hey, I will buy that for now. So I don't believe in begging as well. But this is not to play down on the fact that we are not in connection with what the economy or what society is doing to a lot of people, especially in Nigeria, the way people are being affected. Some of these people, they really don't want to beg. The situation just pushes them to go. But what Dictas is saying now, or our chairman is saying now, there is a structure in place. Due process is very, very important. Due process, go do it the right way and get the necessary help that you need. That way, everybody is happy. I'm not of the opinion that you're just getting the money to scam, because some of these people who beg, some of them are scam.
Exactly.
They just come.
Exactly.
They just come. Not like they're in need of that money, but they just scam you and use this dancing money, go to one beer parlor. They have to be looking for the next person to come. They jump on different pages. You see this one. I don't give this one money today. I go sell for RMD page. Asking for the same thing I gave you 2 days ago. And then when I try to attack you, you block me. Because you are destined to scam. So this has opened our eyes as well, not to even give. Even now, there's a belief community, but because of the wicked ones, they don't know who is real anymore. So you maintain and follow a structure like this, where all the necessary questions will be asked. The business that you want to use will be looked into. And then when I give it to you, I know that I'm giving it to somebody who's going to, do something reasonable with that money. So basically, that is it. I'm re-emphasizing because some of these people, construe our communications.
Yeah.
You see, this as we like a risk, as we call an investment coach risk, it just tells us outrightly saying they block anybody with beggar. No, follow due process. Follow due process. So that's it.
Thank you. You're a master of PR and communication, which is why you always have receipts. That's why you get receipts for everything.
Greeting, my boss. Well, it's so nice to join you on this line. God bless you again.
Thank you.
Boss.
Bye-bye, everybody.
Bye-bye.
I love you.
Yeah.
Bye.